I think the three main things that are really plaguing the internet right now. Number one, definitely AI content. It's garbage, it's trash, and it's cheap. You know what I mean? Number two, short form content. Now, in some cases, short form content works, but the majority of it is just trash, in my opinion. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, are the rage baiters. The people who say things and don't even believe it themselves. The people who say things to rile you up and get you in your emotions. And I feel like this whole Carmelo Anthony situation has a lot of that surrounding it. There's a lot of people who just interject their opinion just to cause chaos. So be careful and don't fall for it. People love to say some shit that they don't even believe just to get a reaction out of people. And that goes directly to the whole cleaver sharpener scenario that we had, okay? So let me run it down for everybody in the back who's just getting here, right? Carmelo Anthony stabs this kid during a track meet. He clearly stabbed the kid. Everybody said that. Everybody on the field, there's witnesses. We hear things through the police report. Knife, 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 right? 2-3 days later after the incident, everybody on the internet saying, no, it wasn't a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. It was actually a cleat sharpener, and we have proof that it was a cleat sharpener, bro. People say shit just to rile you up, bro. That was a talking point for about 2-3 weeks. People arguing over cleat sharpeners. I knew this was bullshit from the start, and I feel like that's just the culture of the internet today. But anyway, we could put all that to rest because now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the indictment, and we're going to read that for ourselves. And we'll see if there's any cleat sharpener mentioned in the indictment. Okay? There's a few other things that we need to cover as well, so stay tuned. There's a lot of things happening in this Karmelo case right now. Let's do this thing. All right, so getting straight to it, we have the indictment right here. It says defendant Anthony Karmelo Sincere. So his middle name is Sincere. I find that a bit ironic. Maybe he sincerely stabs people. Who knows? I don't know, but it's an interesting middle name. So anyways, we move on. It says charge, murder, first degree felony. Address, not there. Cause, they have a code. And then we move down to the actual indictment. True bill of indictment. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jury of Collin County, state of Texas, duly organized at the January term AD 2025 of the 219th District Court of said county, in said court at said term, do present that Karmelo Sincere Anthony, hereinafter called defendant, on or about the second day of April 2025, in said county and state did then and intentionally and knowingly caused the death of an individual named Austin Metcalf by stabbing Austin Metcalf with a knife, a deadly weapon. Now let's just pause it right there, right? Let's just replace that word knife with meat cleaver or cleat sharpener or pin or scissors. Let's just say scissors. He had school components in his bag and he stabbed them with scissors. Does that make any fucking difference? Everybody was like, yeah, he had a cleat sharpener. He didn't even have a weapon. Bro, it doesn't make a difference. If it was a cleat sharpener, a pair of scissors, if you stab somebody in the heart with this pair of scissors and they die, this indictment would not have changed. They just would have substituted the word knife for scissors and I would still be looking at first degree murder. So it's kind of funny that all these people say all this bullshit that means nothing. It means nothing. It's nothingness. It's air. But anyways, let's move forward. So by stabbing Austin Metcalf with a knife, a deadly weapon, then and there with intent to cause serious bodily injury to Austin Metcalf, an individual commit an act clearly dangerous to human life by stabbing Austin Metcalf with a knife, a deadly weapon that caused the death of Austin Metcalf against the peace and dignity of the state. Now, this is something we all expected. Well, all of us sane people out there, this is something we all expected. There's no way that you're not going to get a first degree murder indictment on this. Now, the difference is, will he walk on self-defense? That's to be determined. Maybe he's going to have Johnny Cochran walk up in there. But the fact that he has a public defender, or they're seeking a public defender, or they're trying to say that they're too poor and need a public defender, it's not looking too good. I'll tell you one thing. Enjoy the video games. Tell your mommy to buy you a PC. You guys have $500,000. Spend about $3,000. Get him a good PC. Let him play some video games. Let him get some chocolate milk. Let him have a good time. Because after that, you're fucked, buddy. Public defender. But let's move forward, right? So Sarah Fields must have been digging on Twitter because she came out with apparently Frisco ISD track meet rules. So now we're debunking all these sayings that people would say around Karmelo Anthony, because a lot of people said that, oh, he's allowed to take a knife there because it's not even on school grounds. I remember there's a person who claimed to see the whole thing, and he was like, yeah, man, they were getting that boy. They're about to hurt that boy. And you know what? He wasn't even on school grounds, so it didn't even matter. Okay, so let's all read the Frisco ISD handbook together, since we're all morons, right? Let's do this. There seems to be confusion regarding the track meet policy for Frisco ISD. Attention, Karmelo Anthony defenders. Below is the school policy regarding team tents. Wait, hold up. You made it this far, right? You're vibing with the video, you're getting the information, you're chuckling in the comments and shit. Make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the new subscribers. We've gotten a lot of subscribers recently, and we're trying to get to 100,000 subs. We're at 62,000. We were at 60,000 like 3 days ago, okay? You guys are amazing. Make sure you hit the sub button, like the video. If you don't like the video, then fuck you. No. School team tents must be set up in designated areas. See map for details. Each tent space is assigned to a team and may not be shared with other schools. Access to the event area where team tents are located is restricted to meet staff, event volunteers, and athletes with proper credentials. So the whole situation where they're saying, oh, he was just getting wet, he just wanted to get underneath the tent. This is not like a free-for-all tent. Karmelo went underneath that tent knowing that it would be a problem. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. I don't care if the school that you went to allowed you to go and sit underneath those tents, but clearly there's rules to who sits under where, right? And there's actually, it seems to be like some level of mitigation to keep everybody separated during that time being. So Karmelo did that to stir some shit, 100%. Come on, guys. Let's just be real. But let's move forward. I hope this helps clarify the confusion and the arguments regarding where Karmelo was supposed to be on that fateful day. Track team members are not to be under an opposing team's tent. And I mean, that just makes complete sense. Why? Because fights break out. And that's what makes me feel like Karmelo Anthony possibly, I'm not going to put it on him, but possibly was looking for a fight. And the fact that he went underneath the team does not mean that, oh, it's like some big crazy thing. You would just expect some type of retaliation. So why not go underneath the tent and retaliate normally? Get into a fight if that's what you wanted to do. But you go and stab him with a cleat sharpener? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. So anyways, these are the actual school rules, and we're just going to skim through it real quick. And right here we have the actual document. Seems like she just got a picture of it. It says school team must be set up under designated areas. See the map. Each tent space is assigned to something team and may not be shared with other schools. Access to the event area where team tents are located are restricted. Blah, blah, blah. Tent setup may begin on Friday afternoon. Okay. Competition course. The meet course will be available for school warm-ups no earlier than 12 p.m. on Friday. I'm getting the vibe that this is like a little preppy school, a little uppity school, possibly. I didn't do my research on like how great the school was, but you can tell they have rules and they're serious about their rules. You can come set up your tent, but no earlier than 12 p.m. You can set up your tents in this area, but nobody is able to go into other tents. It's obvious that this is a strict school. So if you do something like that, somebody's going to notice. And then now we move over to prohibited items. And we're just going to go through this entire list just in case people got confused about it. I know when I went to school, they catch you with a knife, you're probably going to go to the principal's office, or if the teacher is cool, they'll just take it away from you. And maybe if you're just a good kid, they'll give it back to you after school until you don't bring that shit back. Everybody knows that you're not supposed to bring knives to school. If you do it, it's at your own risk of getting, detention, taken away. Come on, we all know this. So anyways, possessions of prohibited items. Students shall not possess or use fireworks of any kind, smoke or stink bombs. Ooh, what the fuck are kids doing? Smoke or stink bombs or any other pyrotechnic device, a razor, box cutter, chain, or any other object used in a way that threatens, inflicts bodily injury to another person, a look-alike weapon that is that is intended to be used as a weapon or could reasonably be perceived as a weapon, an air gun or BB gun, ammunition, a hand instrument designed to cut or stab another by being thrown, a firearm silencer or suppressor, a location-restricted knife, a club, a firearm, a stun gun, knuckles, a pocket knife, or any other small knife. Ding, 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 a pocket knife or any other small knife. So maybe if you had a big knife, you would be good, right? Like, what are we talking about, guys? Anything that will hurt children, don't bring it to school. Airport, school, stadium, theater. Like, come on. Mace or pepper spray, corn material, tobacco or nicotine products, cigarettes, e-cigarettes, or any component part for an e-cigarette, matches, lighter, laser pointer, unless approved for use. Well, they didn't say anything about weed in this school, so at least we know we could blaze up the weed. We could smoke up the ganja, and they won't be tripping. They said specifically no tobacco or nicotine. We don't do that. We do straight Mary Jane over here, so I'm glad that the school is weed friendly. That was a joke for those of you who don't know my sarcasm. But anyways, it's obvious. You're not allowed to take shit to school, and this is going to be played against them, I promise you, in court. This is going to be like the first thing they say. When's the last time that you sent your kid to school with a knife? They're going to do all these hypotheticals and these. Karmelo's cooked. Well done. Well done. I'm talking no juice left. But anyways, before we go, we've been talking about everything Karmelo Anthony, so I thought it'd be only right to give you a little update about the Metcalf family. Everybody's grieving and processing things in their own way, but Austin Metcalf's girlfriend specifically had posted something on social media for everybody to see. So I'm going to play it without the music because there's a lot of music in the background. But, this is what happens when you want to be a dickhead. You have people fucked up. Let's go check this out.
Good night, Tatum. Sleep well. See you tomorrow. Good night, Tate. Sleep good. See you sometime soon. All right.
And then it's just a whole bunch of music afterwards. But it's basically just a montage of Austin Metcalf. So, we say everything about Karmelo Anthony. And I will say both of these kids seemed nonviolent. You know what I mean? And it's like, these are just montages and shit. We don't know how his temperament really was, but he seemed like a chill dude. Chill, big dude, chill guy. Karmelo Anthony, on the other hand, I've been going through the social media. I've been going through the pictures. Seemed like a chill dude. Funny, always making jokes and shit. Look at him, getting tattooed without his mom seeing. Regular kid shit. So I hate that it really turned out to be this whole racial thing, bro. Because at the end of the day, I don't think Austin Metcalf was racist, and I don't think Karmelo was racist. You know what I mean? Now we just have this whole bullshit situation with one dead kid. But yeah, that was pretty much it, folks. We'll see what happens next. There's a lot more documents that are going to drop probably today. So stay tuned tomorrow. There's going to be some more updates. Also, there's some more information about Stephen Stearns that I found out that I will be releasing real soon. So keep an eye out for that. And make sure you comment, subscribe. Everybody hit me up in the Instagram as well. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. That's only right. And I'll see you guys real soon. Road to 100,000 subs, man. I'll see you.